Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Exorcist 3, and this movie came out in 1990, and it's kind of a more traditional approach to The Exorcist, or something that I would expect to be like the second installment to The Exorcist. I haven't seen the actual second movie, I've only seen 1 and 3 at this point, and the reason why I did that is because I heard this one was worth checking out, whereas 2 was not. So I decided to skip 2 and just go straight into 3 and kind of get like the pure experience of only seeing 1 and 3. 3, not 4. I also was curious to see how it was because I heard that this one was like worth checking out. It was kind of underrated, and I watched it and I really loved this movie. I thought it was great. Not quite as good as the first movie for me, although I haven't seen it in a while. There's also a new Exorcist movie coming out called The Exorcist Believer, and I'll watch that at some point probably. But anyways, getting a little off track. This one, it has a whole new cast for the most part, and it has some similar beats. And what I really love about this movie is that although it's also a horror movie, just like the first movie, but the difference between this one and the first movie would be that the first movie was a horror and also a drama. Like the heart of that movie, like in terms of the drama, was like a mother losing her daughter, and two priests have to like save her. Like they're her only hope to like save her daughter, and that's really what that movie is about, and those are the stakes of that movie. Whereas this one, it's different in quite a few ways actually, because instead of it being a horror movie and a drama, this one is more of a murder mystery, and I thought that angle was unique and pretty interesting. And although the killer is kind of revealed like, I don't know, not even 20 minutes into the movie, like when I say 20 minutes, I don't mean like they actually say the character's name. I'm saying that I figured it out like 20 minutes in because they showed like a certain character, and I was like, yep, that's the character who's responsible for all this. And where this movie really works for me is the story and the characters. And for the first 20 minutes, I found it to be kind of slow and kind of dragging quite a bit. But after a certain point, the movie just started to really work for me, and I was really into it. I was into the plot, which is not something that happens all too often. It's more about how things are presented, but I really enjoyed the story here and where it went. And there's some cool effects in the movie, and although there's not like a whole lot of that going on in the film, it's mostly towards the end. But when they do show up, I do think it's well handled, and I did think that the main antagonist of the film was great, and there's literally a scene where he just is talking for like 10 minutes straight, uninterrupted, and it's like incredibly riveting, and I love the performance, and they also like change his voice every once in a while, and that was great. And there's a lot of things that they did with that character that made it really interesting to watch. And as the movie went along, like the slow pace of the movie really added to the experience for me. It made me feel like I was a part of the world, and time was moving at real life time, not like movie time, like where it's like really fast and really quick, so you don't really question anything. But here it's nice and slow, so it gives everything time to breathe, and you can really take in the atmosphere, and all of that is really great for me. And they do play the Exorcist theme once, and it's like very brief, and they don't rely on it. And there's more music in this movie than in the first movie. For the most part, it works. It's mostly just ambiance and just like sound going from quiet to slowly louder and louder. And that's how most of the score for the film is treated. And for the most part, it works. Sometimes it doesn't, and I just wish that it was used in a way that was smarter and didn't treat like the audience as if we were stupid, because it does kind of just spell things out for you in a way. That's one criticism that I do have of the film, is that I wished it was a bit more subtle with how things were presented and how the music was used. And also there were some editing choices that I didn't agree with. Like, it just felt a little choppy at points. And there was one really great jump scare in the movie, but there was one element about that jump scare, like right before it happened, like there was something else that happened that made a character scream, and there was some serious audio peaking when she was screaming. Like, that was bad. That needed another take. But aside from that, I thought that scene was pretty fantastic. And this movie does have a few callbacks to the original film, but they're few and far between, and they don't really take away from the overall experience for me. They're not that distracting. I also thought that this movie looked great, just like the first movie, and it was very well made, and there were a lot of elements that I really appreciated in this movie. All the acting was really good, and I love the antagonist. I really enjoyed the journey of the protagonist. There's just a lot that I really enjoyed about the film, and definitely check this movie out if you haven't. And as someone who's never seen the second movie, I thought that this was a great follow-up, and I thought that these 1 and 3 are like, they work really well with each other. Don't really have too much to say about it because I haven't seen the less than great Exorcist movies. It's supposedly what everyone says are not very good. And lots of great stuff here. Not as good as the first one for me, but it's just personal preference. And I'll definitely be revisiting this film. And with all that being said, I'm going to give The Exorcist 3 an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of The Exorcist 3, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Ghost Rider. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.